You Raise Me Up, a letter to tomorrow. Lately, I've started writing letters I never planned to send. I write them because the act of writing helps me understand what I'm feeling. It helps me make sense of things that don't always make sense in my head. Sometimes you need to see the words on paper to know what you really mean. I've written letters to my children, telling them things I never quite managed to say out loud. How proud I am. How grateful I am for their patience. How much I see their mother in them. In the way my daughter tilts her head when she's thinking. In the way my son laughs at his own jokes before the punchline. I've written letters to old friends I haven't spoken to in years. That fishing trip to Lake Superior in 1982 when we caught nothing but told lies about the ones that got away. The time we stayed up all night playing cards. The way we supported each other through job losses and health scares. And sometimes, late at night when sleep won't come, I write letters to the younger version of myself, to the man I was at 25, so certain of everything, so convinced that strength meant never showing weakness, to the man I was at 40, working too many hours, missing too many school plays because I thought providing meant being absent from everything except the paycheck. To the man I was at 60, taking my wife's presence for granted. Sometimes I picture my younger self reading these letters. I can almost hear him saying with a confused look, "Who is this mushy old guy? And where'd all my hair go?" If I could send just one message back to all those younger versions of myself, I'd say this clearly. I'd make sure he heard it. You don't have to be unshakable to be strong. Strength isn't the absence of fear or doubt or grief. Those things don't make you weak. They make you human. Strength is feeling those things fully and still choosing to keep going. You just have to keep standing up, even when standing up feels impossible. I once wrote to myself on a napkin at a diner while waiting for eggs. Just scribbled it down quickly. It said, "Stop trying to fix the whole world. Just water your plants and call it a victory." That note still makes me smile because half of those plants didn't survive anyway. But at least I tried. The evenings are gentler now. I've learned to sit with loneliness like an old companion. Some days I think grief and I are just old roommates. Can't live with it. Can't evict it. We argue, we share coffee, we get on each other's nerves, but we understand each other. When grief overstays its welcome, I tell it out loud. "Hey pal, if you're not paying rent, you can at least make the coffee." I've learned that missing someone doesn't mean you're weak. It means you loved well, and that love left a mark that doesn't fade. When the radio plays You Raise Me Up, I don't change the station anymore. I turn it up and let it fill the room. It feels like she's right here, sitting in her favorite chair by the lamp with the crooked shade she never fixed, reminding me that hope isn't a single spark. Hope's that steady little flame. It might flicker, but it never calls it quits. I've started to understand something about grief and hope. They're not opposites. They can exist together side by side, like two notes in a chord that somehow sound better together than apart. You can miss someone terribly and still find moments of joy. You can carry sadness and still laugh at a joke or enjoy a sunrise. My grandson FaceTimes me these days, usually right when I'm trying to nap. He holds up his drawings to show me what he made in school. He's 7 and thinks I know everything. The other day he asked me, "Grandpa, do you know how to mute?" I smiled and said back to him, "Kid, I've been married 40 years. Trust me, I know exactly how to mute." He laughed so hard at that. I started to believe I might actually be cool again. I'll admit, that felt pretty good. Before I turn off this old lamp and call it a night, I want to share something with you. I've written a small poem of my own. I'm no Emily Dickinson, but I needed to capture what I've learned these past 2 years. It's a thank you to life for not giving up on me. A thank you to everyone who has quietly lifted someone else along the way. A thank you to hope itself for its patience with me. Thank you for sharing this time with me today. If this story brought you warmth, if something I said resonated with you, I hope you'll subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and share this with someone who might need a little light today. Maybe someone you love is walking through a rough patch right now, and they just need a little reminder that hope hasn't gone anywhere. Because sometimes hope begins with a single voice reaching out to say, "You are not alone. I understand, and it's going to be okay." Until we meet again, take care of yourselves and each other. And don't forget to water your plants. They're tougher and more forgiving than most people I know. Here's what I wrote. I call it Feather of Light. Hope rests softly in the heart, breathing when we cannot. It grows between small moments and carries us when we forget. It does not vanish, it waits. And when I listen closely, I hear her voice again, steady, kind, and forever near.